Shirul Adonai kol haaretz. Shirul Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shirul Adonai kol haaretz. Shirul Adonai shir chadash.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. It really is a pleasure to welcome all of you to our Shabbat worship service, where we are truly celebrating the life cycle from bar mitzvah to confirmation to graduation, all the happy events. And though I know that there are some here who are with us for memory as we read the names of those they've loved and lost, so all reasons bring us together as one community, and we're grateful for your presence. We're not only here to celebrate Shabbat, but also to mark the holiday of Shavuot, which begins tomorrow evening. And that is a holiday filled with the teachings that regard confirmation. It's why we call this service graduation confirmation, because we confirm our ability to stand up and be part of our people. We have different rituals, we have different talks. We will inform you and educate you, I hope delight you, and maybe even entertain you. The entire service tonight is by visual tefillah, so you can all continue to look forward, and we're grateful to Cantor Berman for putting that together, and of course for Nancy being with us to enhance the beauty of the service with our music. So now, to enhance the full service, we will need your participation. So wherever you're asked to read along, please do. And we hope we'll hear your voices as you sing as well. So to begin, we always welcome Shabbat with the lighting of the candles and the blessing of the wine, and that honor goes to the bar mitzvah of tomorrow morning. So it's my honor to call forward Chase, together with his parents and his three brothers, two of whom had their place here not too long ago, and one who's coming right up. So come on up, everyone.
Baruch atah Adonai Elohim melech haolam asher k'nishal b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu li'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
And you can follow along with Chase right on the screen. It actually has pouring wine, and you have pouring juice. So first you're going to bless, and then you'll drink. Come join me. Perfect.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodshro b'hava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit hihu yom tahila lemikraim kodesh Zihar Litziat Raim
Kivanu v'harta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh Hashabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Mazel tov. That's beautiful. And you're all excused. Thank you so much, Mazel. Throughout our service, we will be calling on both our graduates and our confirmands to share with you some of their thoughts and reflections about what it meant for so many who began here as little toddlers in Mountaintop or joined us in the early years of Hebrew school, and some who even came just as they were about to become a bar mitzvah. For our confirmands, they are here to share with us what make their year so special, and that was our trip to Washington on the Religious Action Center Litaken trip. It was where they learned to find their voices and speak about issues that they would be willing to stand up for. And they did this in the offices and the halls of Congress with our congressmen and our senators. And so they will be sharing their reflections on their topics. Well, to get us started, it's a pleasure to welcome two graduates forward, Jessica Carrieri and Hannah Cohen.
Shabbat Shalom. For as long as I can remember, Temple Har Shalom has been a powerful presence in my life. From going to Shabbat and High Holy Day services, attending religious school since kindergarten, becoming a bat mitzvah, traveling to Washington, D.C. for the incredible RAC trip, serving as a Madrahim for the past 3 years, becoming confirmed, and now graduating from Mahon, has been a very memorable and meaningful journey for me. I decided to stay at Hebrew school after becoming a bat mitzvah because of my desire to learn more about the Jewish religion and what it means to be a Jew. Being involved with Mahon has helped me realize the importance of the ties that I have to Judaism, including its teachings, values, and the feeling of community. Going to Mahon classes at Temple Har Shalom has been for me a warm and welcoming experience. No matter how hectic a week I experienced, going to Temple for Wednesday classes helped me to put issues into perspective and enabled me to find solutions to problems as well as happiness and peace. I'm excited to be going to Elon University, which has an active and growing Jewish community, and plan on becoming involved with Hillel in college. I also look forward to expanding my horizons by traveling to Israel in the future as part of the Birthright program. I'm very proud of my Jewish identity and thankful for the impact Mahon has had on it. Thank you to the rabbi and cantor, my religious school teachers, and all of the members of the congregation who have helped to make Temple Har Shalom such an amazing and special place, and one which I will always call home. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Sophomore year, I was told that I was going to be coming back to Hebrew school for confirmation year. This did not make me too happy. I refused to go. I was annoyed, to say the least, but I was forced to go ultimately, and it was the best decision I ever made. I'm happy I stayed in Hebrew High for so long because it gave me a chance to stay connected to my Jewish roots and other Jewish kids my age. I'm so thankful I returned because it led me to spend a semester in Israel and to further my Jewish life in Hillel at University of Miami next year, both things that would have never happened if I didn't return back. Temple Har Shalom has been a place where I've grown up through the years, from preschool to Hebrew school to Bat Mitzvah to confirmation and even to being a Madrahim this year. I'm so thankful for Temple Har Shalom for always being a safe haven for me throughout all the years. Staying in Hebrew school this long has further shaped my future as a Jewish adult. Thank you.
We continue with the Baruch. Please rise. Yai, dai, dai, yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 dai. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMivorach. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach Le'olam Va'ed. Please join me in Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivud Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated, and we're going to continue chanting together.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, ושרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
The Shema and V'ahavta come from the book of Deuteronomy and remind us how we are to love God. One very important way is with our voices and with our actions. And to share first with us the paper he delivered on his call to action for the land of Israel, it's a pleasure to welcome forward Scott Feinstein.
So as Rabbi said, I talked in front of Congress about Israel. It's a topic I feel strongly about. I'm going to share you my speech, which I told to our senator and our congressman. As Jews, we are guided by the principle that the world is sustained by three things: by justice, by truth, and by peace. Our tradition teaches that we have an obligation to seek peace and pursue it. Every individual should have the opportunity to feel safe in their own home. Right now, many Israelis and Palestinians don't have the ability to enjoy this freedom. Palestinians are constantly in need of financial support and assistance, and Israelis live in constant fear of an attack. The U.S., I believe, has an important role to play in facilitating peace negotiations and ensuring that the process has a successful result. Israel has three options in addressing the conflict with the Palestinians. It can continue the status quo and eventually control a majority of the Palestinian population, thereby ceasing to be a true democracy. It can transfer Palestinians out of their homes, a morally reprehensible choice, or a Palestinian state can be created. The choice for Israel is clear: a two-state solution with a Jewish and a Palestinian state. Israel needs support from the United States to ensure that a two-state solution will be possible. U.S. military aid would enable Israel to confront serious security threats, including weapons proliferation, and in turn, Israel would share its expertise and technology with the United States, allowing the U.S. to benefit from the assistance as well. U.S. economic aid to Israel would also benefit the U.S. economy, as Israel purchases supplies from many U.S. companies. Not only can the United States help provide assistance to the Israeli people, but the United States can play a powerful role in supporting Palestinian civil society and promoting coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians. In order for peace to work, both Israelis and Palestinians must feel secure in their communities and be willing to live side by side. The Trump administration has ended almost all U.S. aid to Palestinians, including money to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian refugees, money to East Jerusalem hospitals, and money to Israeli-Palestinian reconciliation activities. We urge you, which in this case would be our senator, to support active and sustained U.S. involvement in achieving a viable two-state solution for the Israelis and Palestinians. In order to obtain this, we ask that you continue to vote for foreign aid for Israel as a demonstration of American support for Israel, the peace process, and Israel's security. We also urge you to co-sponsor the Palestinian Partnership Fund Act when it is reintroduced to support programs that promote economic cooperation, dialogue, and coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians. The Palestinian Partnership Fund Act would provide stability to the Palestinians and help to ensure that they can access basic needs like food, water, and health care. It would help to grow the Palestinian economy, helping them to feel secure enough to pursue peace, as each group would feel supported and on equal footing. This would also show the United States has no bias towards either Israelis or Palestinians, and aid in the acceptance of the U.S. in helping negotiate. We hope that with your support of these bills, the next time we visit Israel, we know that we will be safe and that the Israelis and Palestinians will be living in peace. Thank you.
Please join me in Mi Chamocha. Mi chamocha b'ayim Adonai, mi kamocha yeter b'kodesh nurati hilot, o sefer nurati hilot, o sefer malchutecha ra'u v'necha v'kei hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam zeili anu ve'omru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. We continue with Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. teach us daily wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
I just want to remind you all that as you listen to these personal words of our graduates and our confirmands, just realize every time they came home from religious school or from our Washington trip, and you said, "So how was it and what did you do?" And they say, "Nothing." Now you know the depth of what they have really accomplished, and that the time that they have spent was their own private but very meaningful time of growth and exploration, friendship, and an incredible gift to all of us whose presence they gave. To hear now, it's a pleasure to call forward Aliyah Boo, together with Andrew Moglinesi.
Shabbat Shalom. So Temple Har Shalom has been a part of my life for as long as I can really remember. I started out in Mountaintop Preschool and then kind of moved on to Sunday school and then kind of here with Hebrew High. And throughout my journey, I have many fond memories of the temple, from making a talit to a shofar in Hebrew school all the way up to my B'nai Mitzvah. And then our trip to Israel with both rabbis was an experience to remember. The cantor and rabbi were great and helped me make it through all the Hebrew lessons up to my B'nai Mitzvah. And I thought I was done after that, but my mom insisted I continue my Jewish education all the way into Hebrew High. And looking back, I'm really glad I did. I made a lot of friends and had a great trips and a great time, such as like the rack trip, the midnight run, and the soup kitchen. My time with the rabbi and cantor over the years has been quite a relaxing and just an amazing experience. And I enjoyed hanging out with my friends and spending time away from school. And I will truly miss Temple Har Shalom, and I wanted to thank all the teachers I've had over the past years, Manny, my friends, Rabbi Kaplan, Cantor, Rabbi Minitsky, and I just want to say thank you for all the love and support you've given me over the last 15 years of my life, and I will never forget. Thank you.
I don't have a talent for long and emotionally moving speeches, so I'm leaving that to everybody else. I'm just going to say what happened. My joining of Hebrew High required a bit of persuasion. Thanks, Mom. It turned out that these people are tolerable and endearing. So I look forward to coming and hanging out, no persuasion required. And doing activities like the midnight run and soup kitchen and the rack trip are really fun, except for the part where I was bedridden in Washington, D.C. for 12 hours. So my time here was incredible, and I'll never forget a minute of it.
Please join me in Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat lidorot hamerit olam b'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael b'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael b'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael hoti l'olam yalalalai Shabbat Shalom yalalalai Shabbat Shalom yalalalai Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'yom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinavash Shabbat vayinavash yalalalai Shabbat Shalom yalalalai Shabbat Shalom yalalalai Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom.
To hear next about our other topic with Washington, D.C., it's a pleasure to welcome forward Sam Meltzer, and together with Jaden Bryant, who are presented in front of our senator the topic of immigration.
My name is Jaden Bryant, and this is Sam Meltzer, and we are here to talk about immigration reform. The United States of America is built on immigrants. We are known as a melting pot. However, in the recent years, we have started to gradually move on from that belief. From the beginning of America, we have invaded Native American lands without any sort of care for the Native Americans. Nowadays, we are the owners and keepers of the North American lands. Now we are more powerful and can make the crucial decisions of who is allowed in our country and who is not.
In recent years, America has taken vigorous stances on who is allowed to come into the country, most notably our country's recent stance on Dreamers and whether they should be allowed to stay in our country. On September 5th, 2017, the Trump administration announced the decision to bring an end to the DACA program. By ending DACA and its protections, the administration has again made Dreamers vulnerable to deportations. Trump's controversial stance on DACA is overruling the fact that Dreamers grew up in the United States and want to give back to society and raise their own families in the only nation they know as home. As Americans, we must lay back on the principles on illegal immigration instituted by the Obama administration in order to fulfill the beliefs that our country has been based off of. Under Obama's administration, DACA had improved the lives of its recipients significantly. For instance, more than 74,000 young people received protections throughout DACA, and as of 2016, 87% of DACA recipients are in the workforce, and our 8% have enrolled themselves in any sort of schooling. It has been undoubtedly shown that the DACA program was beneficial for the United States and Dreamers. Furthermore, immigrants have shaped our country from the ground up. Therefore, we must fight for the rights of immigrants, whether they may be illegal or legal. In the end, we are all immigrants. Therefore, we must advocate for Dreamers. Welcoming strangers is a core part of Jewish tradition. Accepting immigrants under all circumstances is valued throughout the Jewish religion. In the Hebrew Bible, Leviticus commands, "The stranger who resides with you shall be to you as one of your citizens. You shall love them as yourself. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt." Dreamers are no strangers to us. They are rather avid members of our community. Dreamers contribute to our society in various ways. They consume many American jobs and contribute tremendously to our society. Throughout Jewish history, we have been known as strangers. This reminds us of many struggles faced by immigrants today, and we affirm our commitment to create the same opportunities for today's immigrants that were so valuable to our Jewish community not that long ago. It is our custom to fight for other minorities' rights like Dreamers. For all of us at Temple Har Shalom, we cannot let Dreamers' rights become diminished without standing up for what we believe is right. We are here today to fulfill our Jewish traditions and fight for the immigration reform. Therefore, it's our duty to stand up for others who may not be on the same platform as us today. We also know that anyone else would do the same for the Jewish community. Therefore, it's important that we fight for Dreamers and immigrants, since without them, our country economically would take a tail for the worse.
That's it.
What? No,
That's the ending thing that we were going to say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
We rise for the Amidah. Please join me. Open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasei Avod V'Imahot U'Mevin Geula Libnei Bneihem V'Ma'an Shema Be'ahava Melech Ozer Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKolot Harav Yehoshia Morit atah Mechakel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim v'rofei cholim, u'matir asurim, u'mekayim emunato, yishenei nahar, bichamocha bal gevurot, u'mito melach, melech memit u'mechaye, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'nemanata l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha hakadosh, u'kadoshim b'choyom haleluya selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may all be seated, and it's my honor to call forward Anne Ovrutsky.
Shabbat Shalom. So coming to Hebrew school as a shy third grader was incredibly stressful at the time, but the experience has definitely paid off in tremendous ways. I'm so grateful to be standing in front of everyone today, having completed my Hebrew high school education. As a new student coming into the school and feeling like an outsider, since I had no prior Hebrew school education, I never would have thought that I would continue my education after my bat mitzvah, let alone enjoy it. From our once-in-a-lifetime trip to Washington, D.C. for the Latakin Social Justice Seminar sophomore year, to engaging in weekly chats and discussions with Cantor about anything on our minds or current worldly issues junior and senior year, I can safely say that my time here at Hebrew High has been one of the best experiences of my life. The friends I made here and the lessons I learned have shaped me into the person I am today, and I will always be grateful for what Temple Har Shalom and what Hebrew High specifically has done for me. In a world where it seems like religion is constantly taking a backseat to the daily struggles life brings us, I'm lucky to have had the opportunity to take a moment each week at Hebrew High and be reminded that religion and faith can actually help me cope with my issues. That 2-hour break I get from doing tiresome homework or studying for exams every Wednesday always alleviated my stress, allowing me to approach my work from a new perspective when I get home from Temple. I'm so grateful to have had this support system to continue with Hebrew High School. Thank you so much to Rabbi Maznitsky, Cantor Berman, and to all the amazing teachers here at Hebrew High for giving me this experience and always uplifting me when my spirits were down. I can't wait to visit Temple Har Shalom when I'm home from college. Toda Rabah.
And it's a pleasure to call forward Eliza Lev.
Shabbat Shalom. So for my AP Psychology final project, I've chosen to do an analysis on religion. So far, I've been trying to investigate why or why not people choose to be involved in Judaism specifically. I know plenty of people who are Jewish but only practice Judaism when it comes to life cycle events or high holidays, and I know just as many people who actively practice Judaism in some way on a daily basis. The question I've been trying to answer is why. Does it have to do with how we were raised? Is it about conformity and social influences? Has religion had an impact on mental health? And why are we motivated or not motivated to practice religion? I've talked to a few people so far, and the answers have all been different. But for me personally, I've discovered that the reason I choose to be involved with my religion is because of how positive my Jewish experience is and always has been. Psychologically speaking, I feel intrinsically motivated to be actively Jewish, especially here at Temple Har Shalom, because this was a choice that I made. Surely my parents and peers have influenced me, but it was always made clear to me that once I became a Jewish adult, the choice was mine. I'm so grateful that I decided to remain involved with Hebrew High all these years because of the endless opportunities I've been given, friendships I've made, and appreciation I've gained for such an inclusive community. Thank you to Rabbi and Cantor for always being so supportive and encouraging, my parents for supporting me through every aspect of my Jewish involvement, the Ovrutsky family for endless carpools and kindness, and all my classmates for sticking through me throughout the years. I can't wait to continue my Jewish involvement at Lehigh University and beyond.
Brianna. And Zoe and Sammy, come on up too.
Shabbat Shalom. Temple Har Shalom has been an important part of my life. I started my journey here at Mountaintop Preschool as a red apple when I was just 3 years old. Since then, I have attended Sunday school, had my B'nai Mitzvah on this bima, and continued on to Hebrew High. I have been a part of this community for my whole life, and I have learned so much. 5 years ago, I had the opportunity to travel to Israel for my B'nai Mitzvah with this temple, and I had an incredible experience that I will never forget. In addition, some of my favorite memories include the rack trip to Washington, D.C. in 10th grade, midnight run, and our trips to the soup kitchen. Temple Har Shalom has given me the chance to meet new people, expand my understanding of Judaism, and apply Jewish values to my everyday life, which is something that I'll take with me into the future. I decided to continue coming to Mahone on Wednesday nights because it was a place to discuss what was going on in our lives and relate it back to our Jewish values. It was a safe place where I could go to relax and hang out with my friends. I will miss sitting on the bima every Wednesday night and doing good thing, bad thing. I have created relationships that will last a lifetime here at Temple, and I will truly miss everyone next year in college. Finally, I would like to thank Rabbi Musnixy, Cantor Berman, Rabbi Kaplan, the teachers, staff, and my classmates for supporting me and making my years here at Temple Har Shalom so memorable. Thank you.
Okay, Shabbat Shalom. If I asked my 3-year-old self as a red apple in Mountaintop if I would be graduating Temple Har Shalom today, I wouldn't believe it. I was a kid who wasn't the biggest fan of going to Hebrew school every Wednesday. At the time, I thought I would have my bat mitzvah and my confirmation and then I would be done. But look where I am now. I've continued going to Mahone almost every Wednesday night and I loved every minute of it. For icebreakers, we would start off with a good thing and bad thing, which made everyone feel comfortable and safe in a friendly environment. And the reason I love it so much is because of the friends I've made and how I've learned that my Jewish values will continue on throughout my life. I also love the programs that we have had. For example, Midnight Run has always been such a fun and rewarding experience. While going out into the city at midnight and distributing clothes and food and toiletries is always so exciting, I especially love preparing the food and packing clothes. Shout out to Jordan. I've always enjoyed every single minute of Temple Har Shalom, and I definitely will miss it next year. I will always remember, wherever I go, there is always someone Jewish. Thank you, Temple Har Shalom, Rabbi Musnitzky, Cantor Berman, the teachers, staff, and my classmates for such an amazing and memorable experience.
Shabbat Shalom. So when I was asked to write something for this graduation, in all honesty, I had no idea what to write. I mean, I've spent my whole life in this temple, so it's hard to sum up what all these years have meant to me. Being in this community, from Mommy and Me classes all the way through senior year, the lessons and experiences I had here will stay with me for the rest of my life. Coming to Hebrew school every week, while in middle school I never really wanted to come, that all changed when high school came around. No longer was Hebrew school about learning the Hebrew that I needed for my bat mitzvah. Rather, it was a place to relax with a group of friends that I would only see on that day, as we all didn't go to the same school. The times we had together, like the rack trip, all made us closer as friends, and we have great memories that we can cherish. Hebrew school was also a place to freely express ourselves and help us discover who we are and our passions in life. I found out that I love giving back to my community, and being a part of the HISTE board helped me to fulfill that passion. The friends and lessons here have shaped who I am as a person, which are things I can never forget. Thank you.
Please join me in Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Ki atah lechadon lechol hashalom. Ki atah lechol hashalom. Shalom Ra'av al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Shalom Ra'av al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. V'tov beinecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
It is a pleasure to welcome forward Sanford Friedman together with Eliana Lazar, whose topic is gun violence.
Shabbat Shalom. As you're probably aware, the issue of gun violence has been rapidly spreading in our country in recent years. The amount of people being directly and indirectly impacted by these issues has been growing. Gun violence is devastating our nation. Being high school students, this issue matters very deeply to us. According to the Brady campaign, the average number of children and teens killed by guns every day in the United States under 20 is 8 years old. As gun violence becomes more of a problem, school shootings become more frequent, affecting kids like us. School is the one place where we should feel safe, and now that safety and comfort of school is being breached. By preventing gun violence and the acquisition of guns, we are preventing school shootings and keeping the children of this country safe.
This issue is greatly impacting our nation, a disgrace to such a modernized and leading country, as U.S. firearm homicide rate is 25 times that of other high-income countries, as reported by Everytown Research. Every year, more and more people are being affected by gun violence. It's not just some issue on the news, it's an issue many children and teens are scared about, an issue that can affect my peers and I directly. We urge you to take action as the fear and anxiety is increasing in many students.
Our Jewish values impact and support our opinions on this matter. The Union for Reform Judaism has long recognized the need for legislation that would limit and control the sale and use of firearms. Over that weekend, we had intensely learned about the subject through the Religious Action Center. And according to the Educational Fund to Stop Gun Violence, in 2017, 39,773 people died as a result from gun violence, an atrocious number. As Jewish law teaches us, we must act upon this and not stand by watching this madness. Leviticus 19:16 instructs us to not stand by idly while your neighbor's blood is shed. Gun violence is an enormous problem, and as Jews, we feel that this issue must be addressed and solved. The future leaders of our country are at stake, and it is our duty to make schools safe. As in the past 20 years, more than 215,000 students have experienced gun violence at school. Jewish values teach us the pursuit of our mutual welfare, and we must make community safe for all.
Every summer, I attend a Jewish camp called Camp Starlight. This place was my home every summer for 7 years, and I have made amazing friends and memories there. One of these friends was a man named Scott Beagle. The leader of our senior division, Scott was one of the greatest people I'd ever met. He was a funny, charismatic, witty, and generous guy, and he worked as a geography teacher at a high school in Florida. My friends and I would find him when we had free time at camp just to listen to him tell jokes and stories. A little over a year ago, Scott was shot and killed in the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland, Florida. He saved 3 kids by letting them into his classroom. Scott died as a hero. Every single camper out of 500 was devastated. The fact that someone like Nicholas Cruz, with his history of school shooting threats, could have possibly procured an AR-15 shows how broken our current system is. By supporting the Bipartisan Background Checks Act of 2019 and Background Check Expansion Act, we can keep evil people like Nicholas Cruz from obtaining these lethal firearms so we can stop school shootings. Thank you.
Often at this time in our service, before we pause for silent prayer, we look for inspiration. But I think that inspiration this evening is coming from the next generation who has taken their place here this evening by their presence, by their words, by their deeds, and by their actions. They remind us what's important in the world. And if we needed any reinforcement of that, you might be interested to know that this past week, the largest study of Jewish teens ever undertaken had its results shared nationally. 17,000 Jewish teens were questioned, those who were involved, those who were not involved, those that some had b'nai mitzvahs, some come from multi-religious families, some that are very involved, some that are day school students, and some that only know that they are Jewish by birth. The questions asked of them was, how does their Jewishness influence their lives? And what we learned from this study, and it's the first time it has ever been psychologically confirmed, is that Jewish teens who are involved in a synagogue, connected to a youth group, and continue their education after B'nai Mitzvah, end up being the leaders of our people, but more importantly, have a true sense of self, less anxiety and stress in their lives, and are more appreciative of family and the world in which they live. Truly, the cantor and Jordan and I didn't need a study to know that. But it is something we have always recognized, particularly when we look at our confirmands and our graduates. Tonight is no different. We pause for a few moments to recognize how their presence can inspire who we are.
shalom bimramam. Huyas shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol Yoshotevel. V'imru. Amen. Ose shalom bimramam, huyas shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshotevel, bimru. Amen. Shalom bimramam, huyas shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol Yoshotevel, bimru. Amen.
The cantor and I have prepared two special rituals, both for our confirmands first and then for our graduates. For every act of standing up involves being present and also carrying through our traditions. One very important tradition when one confirms themselves is that they fulfill the mitzvah of bikurim, the first fruits, which are represented by the flowers. It is our hope that those young people in 10th grade who have learned above and beyond what was ever expected of them, or perhaps asked of them. Some were cajoled, some were pushed, some were forced, others were begged, and still others came of their own volition. And together they represent our future, our first buds. So I welcome our confirmands formally forward now to receive their bikurim and to place it within the vase in the hope that their Jewish futures will continue to bud forth with blessings, particularly blessing our own communities. So Jaden Bryant, Scott Feinstein, Sanford Friedman, Eliana Lazar, and Samuel Meltzer. Please come forward. And as you're standing right there together, down there first, stand together. Your prayer is right here, so please read it. Our God, it's in English.
It's English, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Our God of Israel, like Jews of generations past, we take our place as confirmands. Grant that with them we may understand our responsibilities as Jews, to show our family and friends, to learn more and more about our traditions of our people. God, make us grateful
Amen.
Amen. Please come forward. And just put your flower in the vase. Thank you so much. And then I have a special. Always with attaining this special time in their lives, and particularly because of the work that they each did for 4 days in Washington, D.C. They have been presented with a special certificate from the Religious Action Center on this incredible achievement, and each also received, I believe, 28 hours of community service for what they gave. So we are very, very grateful. Jaden, Scott, Sanford, Mazel Tov, Eliana, thank you all, Mazel Tov. We have gifts for you afterwards, too. You may go back to your seats.
Hey guys, kind of make yourselves way around so everybody can see. There we go. Okay.
We all came here as individuals, bringing our own personal styles and characteristics. We have each given a part of ourselves to the group. This is what being an individual is all about. We have learned about others and also about ourselves. We are all unique pieces of the puzzle with our own thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and dreams. We are valuable because of our individuality and what we have to offer to others. No one else is exactly like us. We need to look into ourselves, see who we are, and recognize our potential. We have the ability to accomplish whatever we start out to do. Know that there are no limits and only we can make things happen.
I want you to take all you have experienced here and keep it with you. These tokens which I have just given you represent the experience we have shared together. You take one, look at it, and remember who you are. Each token is slightly different, as each of you is your own person, but they are similar too, each with hopes, desires, and ambitions. Dig deep inside and always have the courage to be yourself. You are a wonderful individual just as you are. Keep this token and know that the power and energy you feel here will always be within you. Do not forfeit your potential to fulfill all you set out to do. Listen to the voice inside of you. Think about all there is for you to accomplish and challenge yourself to do it. Go on, the power lies within. Mazel tov, guys. All right, go back and sit down. And parents, if you would all please rise and read the prayer on the screen.
Our graduates and our confirmands.
All the parents. 1, 2, 3.
We acknowledge.
Please be seated. This is our blessing. I'll sing it on behalf of both the rabbi and myself. You are gifts and you are blessings. You are history in song. You are hope and you are healing. You are learning to be strong. You are words and you are stories. You are pictures of the past. You are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Lidor vador nagid God lecha. Lidor vador we protect this gene from generation to generation. Lidor vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that you carry in your heart, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. You are blessed and you are holy. You are children on your way. Thus meaning we would have the chance to say, Lidor vador, nagid bod lecha. Lidor vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Lidor vador, these lips will praise your name.
And because we pray for your safety in anywhere you may go, our gifts to you are meant to help protect. For our confirmands, you will soon be taking charge of a motor vehicle that will not always be necessarily in your control, but there are other drivers. And so each of you is receiving a car mezuzah. It is our hope that you will keep it in a safe place, and as you receive your driver's license, you will remember that there is just always a little prayer with you, not only a GPS, but a very special prayer. And for our graduates, well, you are now about to make your homes in many different parts of the country. There will be dorm rooms and Hillel houses. There will be fraternities and sororities, eventually apartments. And as you go, it is our hope that upon your doorposts of your house, you will always have a remembrance of this community, your temple that loves you dearly and can't wait to have you come back and visit. So each of you is receiving a full-size mezuzah for your dorm room door and to take it wherever you go from then. With that also comes special certificates and, of course, lots of love. So Jordan, if you would come forward, the cantor and I and Jordan want to present these gifts with hugs, kisses, all our love, and all our blessings.
we start over? Hold on. The volume is gone. You know what? As long as I'm here. Hold on. Come on. Sorry, the volume won't play, and that's important. Oi, vovoi. I worked so hard on this, folks. And it worked an hour ago. Go away. I can do this. I know I got it. Okay, just a minute. Okay, we're starting at the beginning. This is how you do services really, really fast. I still don't know what the sound is, but I know. Nancy, play something, please. The volume's on. I don't know where the volume went. Nancy, seriously. Thank There's a beautiful song attached called Dream Big. It was a really beautiful piece, but I don't know why it wouldn't play. But there we go.
Well, thank you, Ken. That was so touching. But also, it's a bittersweet moment when we realize the blessings before us, but how fast they move. Where did those years go? We'll come back. Just make sure you come back and keep making memories with us. It is time for us to conclude our service, and you saw how fast the cantor can do it, so let's go to it. It's time for the Aleinu. Would you rise, please?
Aleinu l'shabach
Zereshit.
כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל עמונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים עומדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Forward the slide. V'nehemar. One more time. V'haya Adonai. Good. V'melech kol haaretz. V'yom ha'u. Yeh Adonai echad. U'shimo.
I do ask that you please remain standing, because each and every time we come together as a community, in joy or during challenge, we always remember those who were at our sides and live within our hearts still. So on this Shabbat, we commemorate the Yortzites of Brad Kustin, Mary Feldman, Stella Feldman, Jacob Golder, Eileen Hershkowitz, Jack Miller, Stanford Pavernick, Ida Rothstein, Stanley D. Schultz, William George Schwab, Irving Starkman, James Weinberg, and Saul Zaroff. If there is anyone who is commemorating a Yortzeit and wants to share their name now, please feel free to do so. Well, always as a community, we remember those who have no one left to remember them, as well as those of the American Armed Forces and the Israel Defense Forces. And we are reminded how difficult and dangerous is their work each and every day, knowing that this past week we lost one young cadet at the tender age of 20, just training to protect our nation. For all those we've known, loved, and lost, we recite together the Kaddish prayer.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma dibra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'yamechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'adala u'vizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam al'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi Shem Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
We pray that the source of peace will send peace to all who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us, as we all say,
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. Just a reminder that our Shabbat Joy continues tomorrow morning at 10:30 when Chase Zakov will be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah, and we look forward to continuing our joy and have your presence as he will read from the Torah and open a brand new book of Torah. It's like opening up a big present. So we are all excited. And of course, next weekend, we hope that you will join us next Friday night. The Klezmer Band will be back with us, which will be very, very special.
The Hester Street Troop.
The Hester Street Troop. So we hope that you can make it, and wherever your travels take you this weekend, just be safe and come back to us in safety and well-being. To our graduates and confirmands, I think you know the love that pours forth and the appreciation from all of us. And in Judaism, the best way we can show our love and thanks is with something good to eat. So we have an ice cream party for you, all set up. And you can all join too in honor of the holiday of Shavuot.
So please join us in Motzi. Actually, Chase and your brothers, if you'll just join us on the Bima for Motzi.
Come on up, guys.
And confirmands and graduates, please go and join them as well for Motzi. And then the congregation empties out. There we go. All right, guys, just move in. Squish, squish, squish. The ice cream will be melted by the time you get to the motzi. You ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Mazel tov, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Come join us.
Nothing wrong with that. I'll just say bye with like.
Two graduations.
It went by so fast. It went by so fast.
Where is the sound? Jordan, come here. Mark's Where's the volume? Yeah, use the Mac.
Had it. Video?
Yeah, this is the actual power. The Shabbat graduation. Yes. I practiced it I don't know how many times. Yeah. Something happens whenever I plug it into here. It should have come out of my computer.
No, but if it's plugged into here, it should come out of here.
Is there no button? It's on 20. It's on the highest volume. Alright, forget it. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Myself. Honey, you know how many weeks I spent away?
I just want to know help.
What?
I think it was a hit anyway. They were
No, it wasn't. The music, you needed the audio, Jordan. I don't know what happened, so whatever.
the more bigger part.